Hey everyone, it's me, BDB, and we are 6 episodes into Buddy Daddies, which is the halfway mark, so I thought I would give my thoughts on it, if it is worth watching, and will I continue it or not, and is it possibly a blatant ripoff of Spy Family? That answer is no, it is not a ripoff of Spy Family. It's actually just as enjoyable, if not more enjoyable, than Spy Family, but we're going to leave some Spy Family to the side and just concentrate on Buddy Daddies. So just to give a brief rundown of what Buddy Daddies is two spies, Kazuki and Rei, who are now looking after a 4-year-old girl, Miri. Why are they looking after Miri? Because Miri's mother, absolute ace of a mother, totally great, sent her off on her own to go and find her daddy. The dad, turns out, it was a trafficker, and, well, Kazuki and Rei, turns out they were hired to take him out. What did they do? They took him out. Now, Miri doesn't know that that was her father, so Kazuki's been pretending to be her papa. Rei's also her papa, but it seems like Kazuki is the main papa. So that is what Buddy Daddies is about. It is fun, of course. You have a 4-year-old in there with spies trying to do their jobs. You know it's not going to work out well. Even look at the first job they go to. They had to take her with them. She ends up actually being in the house to go to the toilet, and everything just goes awry, and they're not able to take out their target. Ooh, so what are they gonna do? Kazuki already knows that having a child around is not going to be a good thing. They need to bring her back to the mother, right? Because they're spies, bad things could happen to Miri, anything. Well, yeah, Kazuki tracks the mother down, so Kazuki, Rei, and Miri are on off to find Miri's mother, and Kazuki does. She doesn't want her back. Of course she doesn't want her back. Like, it was obvious when she sent her off on her own that the mother didn't want her, which was awful. Sorry if it's squeaking in my chair. But yeah, so Kazuki even says to her that you should have these emotions towards your child. You're a mother and everything. And no, she just doesn't get it. She just gets angry. And we see, of course, a flashback as well. At some point in some of the episodes, Kazuki was supposed to have a child, but doesn't. Supposed to have a child with some woman, but doesn't. We don't know what's happened. So Kazuki ends up leaving the mother and going back to Rei, and they decide to raise Miri themselves. Wholesomeness! Oh hell yeah! That was obvious it was going to go down that route. Yeah, Buddy Daddies, 2 episodes, yeah, the mother takes her back and, oh yeah, series over. No, of course that wasn't going to happen. Now, with Kazuki, we've seen that he's kind of a loofish character and can be serious. He's your typical 20-year-old, even though he's like late 20s, but he's a typical guy, happy-go-lucky, but loofish and everything. And it's cool. We've seen, again, a bit of his past, but then we have Rei, who's younger than Kazuki. And we see his past. He seems to have went through more in his past. Like, he was trained to be a spy from when he was young, from his father, and there was no love there at all, it seems. So, hopefully, since Rei is kind of a cold character, Miri can break that. It'll be interesting. I think that's the way it's gonna go down, So, with the boys not being able to do any other spy work, what's that for them to do? Well, enroll her in a daycare, of course. And Kazuki has that freaking brilliant idea of going, no, we're gonna dress her up in the top gear, just the best clothes that we can get her and everything. Which, they go away, they do that. She wears the clothes. Miri tries to play with the kids at the daycare, and they won't play with her because seemingly she's too well dressed. What kid is looking at another kid going, they're too well dressed, I'm not gonna play with you just in case you get dirty or anything? as a kid, that I think that's the most unrealistic part of this. I don't think a kid would care another kid looks really well dressed up. If a kid wants to play with another kid and they don't know if they get along or not, I think they would just play. You know, that's nuts. As long as they're not snot and drool and everything down. No, she's well dressed and everything. But of course, the teacher that's there says to Kazuki, "Could you get her some casual clothes? You know, it would probably work better." And it turns out her wearing casual clothes does work better, and she plays with the kids. Still, I'm absolutely baffled on that one. But hey, there you go. I ain't a parent, so maybe that does happen. Not a clue. But yeah, so she finally makes friends in daycare, because you even see her come out at different days, and she's just more down and down. She looks so sad, and I'm like, no. It was obviously a bad idea to go away and buy expensive clothes for her anyway. Just some casual clothes. Seemingly they didn't know that there was this shopping center or this shopping mall where there's all this cheap stuff and everything. Because they go to one, they're told about it by the teacher, and they go there and nearly lose their freaking mind. Of course, when they think, they're like, yes, back to work, let's go. No, wrong. Unfortunately, one of the facility members has a bug, so they've closed down daycare for a while. Ooh, and they just accepted a job. How are they gonna do that job now with Miri at their side? Well, Kazuki goes away and starts working while Ray's looking after Miri. Isn't that nice of Ray? When I mean looking after, I mean he's asleep and Miri is now running after Kazuki and trying to catch up with him, but gets distracted by an animal and then turns around and he's gone. Yeah. But where does she just end up? Where does she happen to end up but at the cafe where they get their mission? Once both papas know what has happened to Miri, they go and try and find her. They end up at the cafe as well and see that Kyutaro is the one that's looking after her at the moment. She's there at the bar having something to drink that Kyutaro has made. And of course, they don't want Kyutaro to know that Miri is actually staying with them. They said, oh, it's just a friend's daughter and such, and while we're looking at, we're babysitting, you know, that's it, we're babysitting. He's like, babysitting? Well, my job. Yeah, we'll get to it. He already knows. Even when they come back after the job and pick up Miri, he's like, he already knows.
Whoa, I want to correct something, because what I was about to say is at the end of that episode, something happens. Actually, no, it's actually the end of episode 6. I totally, for some reason, skipped over that. Then again, episode 6 isn't really much of to do with story. It's more to do with fleshing out the characters even more, where Miri even turns on Kazuki by going, she hates him and everything, because I guess she feels like he's accusing her of doing something that she didn't do, which we find out she didn't, which was hitting her kid. She actually did hit him, but not on purpose. Her hand just hit him by accident. But that was it. And, you know, the whole thing is actually a daycare episode where they go to the zoo, but Kazuki didn't give Miri her lunch. So, yeah, he forgot to pack it for her and is running after her with Ray. So they go to the zoo, follow Miri and her 3 friends when they get separated. So it's more of a, again, fleshing out of a characters and showing who Miri's friends are, and they're going to be minor characters and they'll probably pop in and out here and there. So that is episode 6, and what I'm about to say is at the end of episode 6, the after credits of episode 6.
After the credits in this episode, we're actually teased with someone who comes into the cafe called Karen. Who is this? Karen! Is she gonna ask for the manager? No, she's not. Turns out Karen is the sister of Kazuki's ex. So yeah, everything was nice and wholesome from episode 1 to 6. Episode 7 comes in. Kazuki has a breakdown because the 5th anniversary of something is coming up. And let's just say that 5th anniversary turns out is the death of his ex, who obviously had child inside, and he blames himself for her death, which I can see why, but he shouldn't, because still, like, he was doing his job by running after this criminal. This criminal got into a car and then got into a wreck, into an oil, like a truck, was holding, like, yeah, a truck that was holding oil, I believe. And then she's standing right next to it. It turns out she looks over Kazuki and then. But yeah, that's why Kazuki is so down and mad because of that. So, Rei is looking after Miri. House is a bloody wreck. And it turns out Rei took her to school. Wasn't meant to go to school. Miri gets sick. Rei gotta look after Miri. Everything is falling apart without Kazuki. Karen finds Kazuki. Kazuki is just like, no, leave me alone. Everything. Gets away from her. Goes to his ex's grave. And Karen finds him there and they talk. So this one is kind of a sadder episode. Seeing Kazuki in such a bad state, like he's absolutely drunk. And it's been 5 years and he just can't get over it because he blames himself for that. And Karen, of course, is just trying to make him realize that, you know, her sister would rather he was happy than sad all the time. Anytime this came around, let it go. Move on with your life. You know? And it seems like he may start. So hopefully in episode 8 everything's more wholesome and happy. But I really doubt it. I think something's gonna happen with Rei next. Probably with Rei's papa. So that is it so far for Buddy Daddies. And if you want to read ahead of the anime, like the manga or the light novel, unfortunately you cannot because it's an original. There is no source material. It is just an anime, unfortunately. I would really love it if it was manga, but there you go. So, if you enjoy slice of life action and drama animes and all in one, you should watch Buddy Daddies. If you enjoy Spy Family, you should watch Buddy Daddies. Just give it a shot. Like, I'd say you'll know about a third episode in if you really enjoy it. But yeah, I got like 7 episodes, like I said, was a bit different. So I added to it, you know. I think that was enjoyable. So I would absolutely recommend Buddy Daddies, even though I'm only watching 4 animes that have come out this season so far. But yeah, Buddy Daddies was the first one, and I don't regret it. I don't think I'm going to drop it. Very enjoyable. But anyway, that's it from me, BDB. I will see you later. God, that was